Hello, and welcome back to another episode of our collective experiences. I'm Sean, your host and fellow experiencer. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. And if you're returning, thank you very much. Today's episode, we're going to be embarking on the call to adventure, aka Chapter 2 of my Survivor's Guide to Awakening. If you haven't seen the previous episode, that's okay. The most updated version of Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 will be available in the show notes below on my Google Drive. And Chapter 2 is all about ontological shock. So let's dive in. The call to adventure has begun. Your life will never be the same, and there's no going back to what we consider normal. How you found your way to this point is entirely unique to you. For some, like myself, a near-death experience, as Jeffrey Kripal describes, serves as my flip moment, a pivotal event that divides life into a stark before and after. This moment isn't just a marker on the calendar, but a profound shift in existence that reshapes your perception of reality. Following my NDE, I entered a liminal space, caught between worlds. This wasn't just a philosophical or spiritual transition. It was tangible, day-to-day living in a state where the boundaries between what's considered real and unreal blurred. This unreal, in the context of our shared human experience, refers to those phenomena that defy conventional explanation, challenging even the most grounded among us to reconsider everything we thought we knew. So, standing at the threshold. For you, this call to adventure might not be as dramatic as a near-death experience. It might be just a single moment, a sudden realization or encounter that is so vivid, it etches itself into your memory, becoming a lens through which you view the world thereafter. Or a gradual shift, a series of occurrences, each small but collectively significant, that erode the edges of your established reality. There's also the philosophical or ideological crisis, realizing that your long-held beliefs, be they political, spiritual, or religious, and for those in the States, the political one, that can be tough, no longer serve you. This can be as transformative as any physical event, prompting a quest for new truth or meaning. How about an encounter with the extraordinary? If you're a fellow experiencer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Mystical or paranormal experiences, an unexpected encounter with what's traditionally considered supernatural or paranormal, like seeing apparitions, having precognitive dreams, or experiencing synchronicities that defy coincidence. These can shake one's worldview to its core. Scientific breakthroughs. For some, reading about or contributing to groundbreaking scientific discoveries might challenge your understanding of reality, pushing you into a quest for deeper knowledge or existential meaning. Can anyone add quantum to any other word? It's always quantum. Crisis or loss, personal loss. The death of a loved one can profoundly alter one's life trajectory, leading to a journey of grief, discovery, and eventually transformation. Or a career crisis or significant financial loss. I had that. Facing a significant professional setback, redundancy, or reaching a career peak only to find it unfulfilling might push someone into seeking a new path or purpose, often transformational in nature. Or losing a home, career, or savings can significantly change one's outlook. Societal or environmental shocks. Global events. This can be right now. There's a lot of shit going on. Living through or being deeply affected by events like wars, pandemics, or environmental disasters can serve as a call to adventure, prompting a reevaluation of life's priorities and actions towards global or local change. I have friends that were deeply affected by the hurricane just recently down in the States. Cultural shifts. Witnessing or being part of cultural revolutions, shifts in societal norms, or movements for justice can ignite a personal quest for identity, belonging, or advocacy. What about personal realizations? Health scares. I just had a student that's dealing with a health scare right now, and it's totally altering his life's trajectory. A diagnosis or health scare can serve as a wake-up call, leading to a journey of healing, lifestyle changes, or a deeper quest for understanding the body's mysteries. Relational changes. Divorce. Yeah, got that one too. The birth of a child, or finding true love can mark a significant life shift, prompting one to explore what these changes mean for their identity and their future. So true. Spiritual or existential exploration. Spiritual awakening. This could be through traditional religious experiences, meditation, or encounters with different spiritual practices that open up new dimensions of existence. The telepathy tapes are blowing up right now. This can create a whole new spiritual awakening for people, or the gateway tapes. Philosophical inquiry, engaging with philosophical ideas or existential questions that challenge one's beliefs about life, purpose, and the universe, leading to a personal quest for truth or meaning. Technological or digital shift. To the digital age revelations, the impact of technology, like discovering a virtual reality, AI, or deep learning, might provoke a reevaluation of what it means to be human or how reality is constructed. How about a cyber awakening? Experiencing cybersecurity breaches, online identity crises, or digital activism might lead one into a journey of understanding digital ethics and personal digital identity. Educational or intellectual awakening, an academic epiphany, shouting Eureka from the rooftops, discovering a new field of study, a theory, or a piece of literature that profoundly impacts one's thinking, leading to a life dedicated to exploring and expanding this newfound knowledge. For me, that's obviously Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung's work. Mentorship or encounter with a mentor. Meeting a teacher, guru, or mentor who challenges your perceptions and encourages a pursuit of knowledge or wisdom beyond conventional paths. Artistic or creative inspiration. Creative breakthroughs. Artists, writers, or creators might experience a moment where their work suddenly gains new meaning, pushing them towards a transformative creative journey. Exposure to art or culture. Encountering art, music, or cultural practices that so deeply resonate that they inspire a personal transformation or quest. So, now you're standing at this threshold. The adventure truly commences. This chapter isn't just about recognizing the call, it's about understanding what it means to accept the summons. Like heroes of old, you're being invited into a journey not of physical distance, but of inner exploration, where the real and unreal merge into a new reality. What does this journey entail? Acceptance of change. Recognizing that your old normal is no longer viable. This acceptance is the first step in navigating your new reality. And it's not just about the big things. This you can apply to the small things. Right now, I had this call to adventure. It has to do with interpersonal relationships and conflict. Normally, I try to avoid it until I'm overwhelmed, and then that emotional overload or outburst will allow me to have the confrontation. But now, this new path or this new approach is where I'm able to have conflict and not be totally have my nervous system overwhelmed completely. And I'm able to have this confrontation without having to amp myself up into that fight or flight response. But it's taken so much exposure therapy from the universe. Embracing the unknown. The adventure isn't clearly mapped out. It's about learning to navigate by the stars of your intuition, curiosity, and an openness to the inexplicable. The hero's resolve. You must find within yourself the resolve to face the challenges ahead. This isn't just about survival, but about transformation and community and guidance. Along the way, you're going to encounter others. You're going to have mentors, guides, fellow travelers who can offer support, wisdom, and sometimes just the right questions to help you find your path. And sometimes the ones that annoy the shit out of you the most or frustrate you the most can be great guides to what you don't want or leading you to what you need to transform it within yourself. In this chapter, we'll explore these themes, providing tools and insights not just to survive, but to thrive. In this new chapter of your life, whether your call to adventure was loud and clear or a whisper that grew over time, remember this. Every great story begins with a call, and now yours has just started. So, Themes of the call to adventure and how it may show up in yours. In essence, the call to adventure in normal life is about recognizing those moments where life pushes or invites you towards something different, embracing the opportunity for growth, and then actively engaging with that change. It's about turning everyday life into your own personal myth, where you're the hero, constantly evolving through your adventures. This can be uplifting, but also, depending on your own personal myth, can be quite harrowing. NDEs, natural disasters, and personal financial losses, among other experiences, can all be the call to adventure. First step is noticing when life presents you with a significant change or challenge and recognizing this as the call. This could be anything from a job loss, a move to the city, a health scare, or even a chance encounter that shifts your perspective. Embracing change. The call often comes with a sense of unease or excitement about changing your current situation. This could be the call is all about leaving comfort zones, such as deciding to move to a new place, start a new hobby, or join a community group where you know no one. Taking risks can help bring about change. There's no growth without risk. Investing in a new business idea, quitting a stable job for something more fulfilling, or pursuing education later in life are examples of risk. Use your intuition as a guide. We don't have to start with huge changes. Small steps compound to big changes. Once these are recognized, these moments aren't just obstacles. They're invitations to grow. Embracing them means acknowledging that discomfort and change are often prerequisites for personal development. I don't like to picture these moments as obstacles. I like to picture them as more as fun things to get over. Just like kids at a park. When you're a kid, you don't see it as work. You just see it as fun things to climb and get over, and then do it all over again. And I think that's probably the healthiest way for us to get through this shit. This involves not just accepting the change, but actively stepping into it. It's about deciding to learn from the experience, to explore new parts of oneself, or to adventure into uncharted territories of life. While this can be profoundly uplifting, fostering a sense of purpose and adventure, it can also be daunting. So, near-death experiences, natural disasters, or financial crises might serve as severe calls to adventure and pushing individuals toward profound life changes or spiritual awakenings, but often through significant hardship. And it's not easy. And just like heroes in stories, you might initially resist this call due to fear, doubt, or comfort with the status quo. But these harsh calls can lead to the most transformative journeys. They force a reevaluation of priorities, a deeper understanding of one's resilience, and often a shift towards what truly matters in life. But it fucking sucks while you're going through it. No matter what challenges or trials you may face, you can overcome these barriers. But overcoming this involves self-reflection. Understanding why you're hesitant. Is it fear of failure, the unknown, or losing what you currently have? Seeking guidance. This could be through mentors, books, like all those, therapy, or even online communities, learning from others who've taken similar paths. Every major life event, whether positive or negative, can be framed as a call to adventure. The key is in the interpretation and the action taken. Do you see a setback as a dead end or as the beginning of a new journey? A quote that I repeat to myself is, I can't control the situation, only how I react to it. And that's so much easier said than done. Accepting the call means committing to change, but this doesn't mean it will be a straight line. It will wind and you'll have setbacks and stumble and fall, but our only task is to get back up. I know for myself it has been 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward, but that still means I'm still moving forward. So do not let failure discourage you. It is part of this journey. When one door closes, more will open. And sometimes the door has to be slammed shut in order for us to look for the window. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus? Some steps to help you accept the call are setting goals, clearly defining what you want to achieve with this new adventure. How about taking action, making concrete, small steps toward your goal? Whether it's saving for a trip, enrolling in a course, or a focus on healthy lifestyle or networking for a new job, start small. It doesn't need to be these giant leaps like we always think. The small things add up. Every call to adventure in real life presents not just a challenge, but a profound opportunity for growth. When we accept these calls, we embark on a journey of learning and adaptation, where we must summon resilience, sharpen our problem solving skills, and embrace adaptability. Through these adventures, we often stumble upon the path of self discovery, unearthing hidden facets of our personality or latent talents that were previously unexplored. The impact of such journeys can be transformative, reshaping our lives in significant ways. We might find ourselves forming new relationships or deepening bonds with others through shared trials, or we could be propelled into new career heights or personal triumphs, like mastering a new skill or achieving a long held goal. After the dust of the adventure settles, there's a rich period of reflection. This is when we can distill the essence of our experiences into stories that not only serve as personal milestones, but also as beacons for others. By sharing these narratives, we not only perpetuate our legacy, but also ignite the spark of adventure in others, demonstrating that transformation is not just possible, but waiting in the mundane moments of our daily lives. Be the light for others to follow. So, signs and symptoms. As a paramedic and tradesman, I've been trained in the skill of recognizing signs and symptoms in others, particularly in moments of crisis or shock. This professional training extended beyond physical ailments into the realm of the psychological. But along my journey, I've come to understand that the call to adventure, a period of pivotal moments in one's narrative, often ushers in a new kind of shock: ontological shock. This term encapsulates a profound disturbance or disruption in one's sense of reality or being. It transcends the physical, delving into the very fabric of our existence. This phenomenon, while perhaps less tangible than a broken bone or a cardiac arrest, can be just as debilitating, possibly, and in my opinion, even more so, because it strikes at the core of who we are and how we perceive the world. In exploring this concept, we tread into philosophical, psychological, and therapeutic territories where experiences fundamentally challenge our understanding of existence, self, or reality. Through the next pages, we'll navigate through the signs and symptoms that might indicate someone is undergoing an ontological shock. Cognitive symptoms: confusion, a persistent state of confusion or disorientation about what's real or true. Existential questions, a sudden or intensified questioning of life's purpose, one's existence, or the nature of reality itself. Doubt and uncertainty, an overwhelming doubt about previously held beliefs, leading to a sense of groundlessness. And then cognitive dissonance, recognizing conflicting beliefs or realities that can't be easily reconciled. I know after my NDE, going from essentially an atheist to having that near-death experience right after, it was shattering. I had no idea what to think was real because it felt so real. Everything was just so confusing. Emotional symptoms: anxiety, heightened anxiety, often related to existential concerns or the fear of losing one's grip on reality. Although, to be honest, I still have anxiety. Depression, feelings of hopelessness or despair stemming from perceived meaninglessness or the loss of a stable worldview. Detachment, emotional numbness or feeling of being disconnected from oneself or others. Awe or wonder. Paradoxically, some may experience a profound sense of awe or fascination with a newly perceived reality, leading to mixed emotions. This can happen right after a really powerful psychedelic trip. Physical symptoms: sleep disturbances, insomnia, or changes in sleep patterns due to overwhelming thoughts or existential dread. I've noticed throughout, since my NDE, that depending on the moon phases or certain periods of the year, I will go through phases where I'm having really terrible sleep, and it almost seems like I get more triggers piled on top of the lack of sleep to see how I'll react. Fatigue, mental and physical exhaustion from constantly trying to reconcile new realities with their old beliefs. Sensory overload or underload, either oversensitivity or undersensitivity to the environment. As reality processing becomes altered, you can become super sensitive. When I can still have this now where I just recently had it where I became oversensitive to people's mannerisms that that I felt was a triggering of other people's mannerisms, and even having it seemed like heightened hearing when I was in a high nervous situation. Or the undersensitivity can be the numbness. The world is not in your books and maps; it's out there. The Hobbit. Behavioral symptoms: withdrawal, social withdrawal or avoidance as one grapples with new perception or realities. This seems to be like a huge pattern of almost everybody, where they either tend to turtle or become a hermit for a while before, as you're dealing with this ontological shock, you seem to suck inwards as you start diving down into your own inner self. Change in routine, significant changes in daily behavior, sometimes seeking new experiences intensely or avoiding them altogether. Seeking answers, an urge to delve into philosophy, spirituality, science, or any field that might provide explanations or frameworks for understanding their new reality. Down the rabbit hole you go. Risk taking, engaging in activities that might test the boundaries of reality or personal limits, sometimes as a form of existential exploration. Perceptual symptoms: derealization, feeling that the world around is not real or dreamlike. You can see that there was this theme around where people were saying others were NPCs. Depersonalization, a sense of being detached from oneself, as if one is an outside observer of one's own life. And hyper-awareness, an intense awareness of one's surroundings or self, often leading to paranoia or hypervigilance. Some long-term effects: identity crisis, reevaluation or crisis regarding one's identity, roles, or place in the universe. Jim Carrey had this after his role in The Man in the Moon. He had trouble finding himself again. Belief system reconfiguration, a complete overhaul or significant modification of one's belief system, which might lead to adopting new philosophies, religions, or scientific views. Adaptation. Over time, some might adapt by integrating these new perceptions into a workable worldview, which could lead to a new equilibrium or a chronic state of questioning. Your heart is free. Have the courage to follow it. Braveheart. So, introducing your heroic medical bag. In the previous chapter, we equipped you with a heroic toolkit, a collection of practical tools as tangible as the hammer and chisel of a skilled tradesman, designed to carve out your path through the dense wood of self-improvement. However, just as no craftsman goes into the field without a first aid kit for unexpected injuries, your journey through the heroic landscape also demands a kit for healing and resilience. Here, I introduce to you the heroic medical bag. This isn't merely an extension of your toolkit, it's a complementary set of resources for when the journey takes its toll. While your toolkit provided you the means to shape your destiny, this medical bag offers what you need to heal, rejuvenate, and maintain your health, body, mind, and spirit through the rigors of your quest. Within this bag, you'll find tools for emotional first aid, psychological navigation, and physical wellness, alongside relational strategies and inspirational elements. Together, they ensure that as you wield your toolkit, you're also equipped for recovery, fostering resilience and an ongoing journey of becoming. The heroic medical bag is your ally in maintaining balance and health on your path, complementing your toolkit for a comprehensive heroic journey. So, exercise 5. Define your current worldview. Objective: to articulate your current understanding of existence and your place within it after your experience. So, steps: reflect on what you believe about life, your purpose, and the nature of reality. Write down these beliefs in a journal or document. Consider how these beliefs influence your daily decisions and emotions. The emotional aspect: to explore how your beliefs emotionally color your perception of reality. So reflect on how your current beliefs make you feel. Are they comforting, anxiety-inducing, or empowering? Journal about an emotional reaction tied to your worldview, exploring why that belief triggers such a response. And how much does it trigger? Exercise 6. Encountering ontological shock. To recognize key moments that have or could challenge your worldview. So some steps. Recall situations where your beliefs were significantly challenged or questioned. What was the outcome? Contemplate future scenarios where your current worldview might be inadequate or questioned. And then the emotional aspect. To navigate the emotional turbulence of having your worldview challenged. So recall a moment or experience your beliefs were shaken. What emotions did you experience? Confusion, fear, liberation, joy, sadness? What did you feel? And then write a letter to yourself from this period, offering comfort or advice on how to emotionally cope. Emotional first aid kit. Within the folds of your heroic medical bag lies the emotional first aid kit, a collection of tools designed for immediate emotional rescue and recovery. As you tread the path of awakening, moments of doubt, fear, and feelings that overwhelm are inevitable. Here's how you can prepare. Exercise 7, emotional bandages. Embrace the power of self-talk. You are your own hero, and like any good hero, you must occasionally remind yourself of your valor and worth. So, craft your emotional bandages. Write down or record affirmations that resonate with your spirit, such as, I am resilient. This too shall pass. My worth is not defined by external validation. I am enough. To heal the world, I need to heal myself first. I'm not a burden. I'm loved. Anything like that. Make these affirmations a daily ritual. When the winds of doubt blow, repeat these to yourself, binding your emotional wounds with the strength of your own voice. Exercise 8, coping strategy cards. Prepare for emotional battle. So, just as a warrior might have strategies for various foes, so too should you be ready for different emotional challenges. So, create coping strategy cards. On one side, name the emotional scenario. I'm feeling overwhelmed. On the other, write a strategy or affirmation tailored to that situation. So, for example, front, criticism from others. Back, take a deep breath. Remember, criticism can be a mirror to learn from, not a stone to break you. What can you learn from this? I literally used this today. That a lot of the criticisms that I may receive might be projections of their own insecurities, and that helps me not get emotionally overwhelmed. Keep these cards at hand. When the situation arises, draw upon your strategy, not out of panic, but with the calm of preparation. Exercise 9, mindfulness and grounding. Anchor yourself in the now. When emotions threaten to sweep you away, grounding techniques are your anchor. So, learn and practice grounding exercise like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. List 5 things you see, 4 you feel, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. This brings you back to the present moment. This can also be a quick way into a sensory meditation. So, an example would be this. I see my laptop, a coffee mug, my hands, my watch, my reflection. I feel a slight breeze. I feel my breath. I feel my heart beating. I feel the floor beneath my feet. I hear the vent. I hear my oven heating. I hear cars outside. I smell the meal cooking in the oven. I smell my tea in front of me. I taste the chips I just ate. I'm still working on my snacking. Use these techniques not just in distress, but as a daily practice, strengthening your ability to stay present and calm. And eventually you won't have to think about it. It'll just be running in the background, just like an app that you forgot that was running. Creative exercise 10, creative expression for emotional release. Unleash your inner artist. Creativity isn't just for art. It's a tool for emotional expression and healing. Task. Dedicate time to create, whether through painting, music, or writing. Let your emotions flow onto the canvas or page, not to critique, but to release. This isn't about perfection, but about the process. Allow yourself to express without judgment, letting your art be a reflection of your inner world. There is no need to share, but if you feel like you want to, please be mindful of who you share with. In a tender emotional state, criticalness can be extremely triggering. To live will be an awfully big adventure. J.M. Barrie. Next is the IV bag of inner resources. In the journey of awakening, there are moments when you feel depleted, overwhelmed, or lost in the labyrinth of your own thoughts. It's during these times that external tools alone might not suffice. You need something more immediate, more direct, something that feels as though it's being infused directly into your veins, nourishing your spirit from within. This is where the concept of the IV bag comes into play within your heroic medical bag. Just as an IV bag delivers vital fluids, medications, or nutrients directly into the bloodstream, providing immediate and often life saving support, the metaphorical IV bag exercises in this section are designed to infuse your psyche with exactly what it needs at that moment. Whether it's courage to face your fears, clarity to cut through confusion, or empathy to connect with others, these exercises serve as a direct line to your inner resources, offering a way to access and harness your innate strengths when they're most needed. Imagine, if you will, a moment of profound stress or doubt. You look to your side, and there's your heroic medical bag with an IV drip ready to be connected. Each bag labeled with what you're seeking: courage, clarity, empathy, energy, wisdom, calm. With each drop, you're not just receiving, you're remembering. You're tapping into reserves of strength you might not have realized were there, or perhaps have forgotten you possess. As you engage with these IV bag exercises, remember this is more than visualization. It's a practice of mindfulness and intentionality, and that's really, really fucking powerful. You're not just hoping for change, you're actively participating in your transformation. By imagining the infusion of these qualities, you're setting an intention, a direction for your mind and spirit to follow. These next exercises prepare to connect the line, to let the flow of essence of what you seek. Here, in the quiet moments of visualization, you'll find not just relief, but a profound reconnection with your inner strengths. Embrace the infusion and let the journey of self-discovery be as transformative as the drip from an IV bag into your soul. Bag of courage. I used that one today. When faced with a daunting challenge or decision, visualize an IV bag labeled courage. So how it works: imagine the needle, or if you're scared of needles, it just connects to you. Don't overthink it. Imagine the needle gently entering your arm, and with each drop, a wave of courage flows into your veins. Visualize the liquid as a glowing, vibrant color of a fiery red, representing the courage infusing into your system. Activity. So close your eyes, take deep breaths, and visualize this process. Feel your body filling with bravery, your fears diminishing as the IV bag empties. When you feel ready, open your eyes and take on your challenge with newfound courage. IV bag of clarity. When overwhelmed with confusion or indecision, turn to your clarity IV bag. Picture this bag containing a clear, luminous liquid. As it enters your system, it clears away the fog, sharpening your thoughts and brings clarity to your mind. So, sit in a quiet space, meditate on your confusion, then visualize the IV bag. With each drop, feel your mind becoming clearer, your thoughts more organized, and when ready, reflect on your issue or decision with this newfound mental clarity. Bag of energy. For times when you're physically or mentally drained, use the energy IV bag. How it works: picture this IV bag with a vibrant green liquid, symbolizing vitality and energy. As it drips into your system, feel your energy levels rise, your fatigue diminishing. Do a quick energy boosting exercise like jumping jacks or yoga. While moving, visualize the green liquid energizing your body. Finish with deep breaths, feeling revitalized. For enhancing your ability to connect with others, infuse yourself with empathy. The bag of empathy. Imagine an IV bag filled with a warm, golden liquid. As it enters your system, you feel your heart expanding, becoming more open and empathetic. Think of someone you need to connect with or understand better. Visualize the empathy flowing into you and imagine how they might feel, what they might need, and how you can respond with greater compassion. The bag of wisdom. For seeking guidance or wisdom in complex situations, the IV bag here contains a deep, rich purple liquid, symbolizing wisdom. As it enters, it's as if ancient knowledge and wisdom are being infused directly into your mind. So, sit in contemplation. Visualize this bag, and with each drop, imagine gaining insights or recalling lessons learned from past experiences or wisdom you've gathered from teachings or books. IV bag of calm. For moments of high stress or anxiety, turn to your calm IV bag. Imagine a light blue liquid, soothing and calming as it enters your system, reducing anxiety and promoting a relaxation. Practice deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. With each breath or relaxed muscle, visualize the calm liquid spreading throughout your body, soothing every fiber of your being. So, some resources. During my own ontological shock, these resources were my lifelines, offering solace, guidance, or letting me know I wasn't alone through existential upheaval. Each has been pivotal at different stages, helping me navigate and ground my reality. So, like normal, embrace what resonates, and knowing that in time, even the seemingly distant may become your closest companion on this transformative journey. So, some nonfiction books. Uh, Encounters by Diana Walsh Pasulka. The Messengers by Mike Cleland. Love that book. We had some crazy, my partner and I, Irina, had some crazy synchronicities while reading that. The Flip, Jeffrey Kripal. Very great book. Communion by Whitley Strieber. Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe. If you're interested in OBEs or the Gateway tapes, highly recommend his first book, Journeys Out of the Body. It's awesome. Really explains how he accidentally fell into it and had his own ontological shock. Spiritual Emergency by Stanislav Grof. Really great book that covers a wide range of spiritual crises. Between Death and Life by Dolores Cannon. The Kabbalion by the Three Initiates. Really love The Kabbalion. The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. I read this actually recently, but I feel like it's a great resource for when you're first having your call to adventure. Conversations with God and I by Neil Walsh, and Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Again, Becoming Supernatural, I read only recently, but I believe it fits here better. Fiction books. Chains of the Sea by George Alec Effinger. Lou Elizondo has mentioned this one. I actually really like this book. It's an interesting concept of interdimensional beings, and coupled with AI in a weird way. Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. This one really ties in the feeling of remembering for a lot of us that are experiencers, and that feeling of an event that's happening is more of a remembering than something else. And it's a really great book. I watched the TV show that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. They did some interesting things. It's nowhere near as good as the book. Old Man's War by John Scalzi. This one's really great. This was recommended by somebody on Reddit years ago who said he was the son of a high up intelligence official. And he said Old Man's War was a good representation of what's actually going on. It's a really fascinating book. Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein. Starship Troopers by Robert A. Heinlein. Heinlein was a big influence on my young teenage years. Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Love that book. That was a really big awakening book for me when I was a kid. It didn't really take, but I still remember it. The Three Body Problem by Lou Cizan. This one's super fascinating. If you've seen the Netflix series, the book's way better. YouTube channels: Beyond with Heather Tesh for NDEs, Inspire 369, The Y-Files, and Mr. Mythos. Music. Again, this is going to be super personal, but my kids love the score, the band. So Fighter, Under the Pressure, and Don't Need a Hero by The Score, all really great. My Destiny by Beacon Light. Heroes Are Calling by Smash Into Pieces. Shinedown, one of my favorite bands. One that I cried a lot to in my beginning stages of the call to adventure was A Symptom of Being Human, Save Me, and Second Chance. Can't Hold Us by Macklemore. Hey Brother by Avicii. Gladiator by Zaid Wolf. Terror in Space by Glass Animals. And Way Down We Go by Cleo. The Way Down We Go hits differently now that I'm coming out than it did when I was going down. Podcasts. Earth, A Love Story by Robin Laster. Can't recommend that one enough. She has her book as an audiobook in the very first episodes, and then a bunch of interviews. She's wonderful, and please check her out. On that way, okay? Whoa. I meant like listen to her stuff. The UFO Rabbit Hole, Kelly Chase. Really great introduction. If you're not really familiar with the whole what the fuck's going on with UFOs and UAP. Point of Convergence by Exo Academian. I'm in his second class of Essence of Being. I consider Exo Academian or Darren King a perfect base camp. Really, what I think his biggest thing is about radical transparency, which I think is an extremely important part of becoming vulnerable with others in order for us to actually move forward. So I think his work is very important. Somewhere in the Skies by Ryan Sprague, and The Kabbalion is read by the Master Key Society. That's how I listen to it. Persons who offer views or theories on profound questions in ethics, psychology, metaphysics, logic, and other related fields. John Mack, C.G. Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche, Judith Butler, and Itzhak Bentov. He died tragically. I think he was so close to a lot of revelations. Movies. The Game by David Fincher. One of my favorite about ontological shocks. Matrix. The Never-Ending Story. Vanilla Sky. The Truman Show. Fifth Element. Free Guy. Lucy. The Phenomenon. And Contact. Television. Battlestar Galactica. The 2004. Dark. And 1899 by Baran Bo Odar. Dark is probably one of my... No, I think it's probably number one for my favorite TV show. It is, and I think it's. We constantly hear people saying that it's very close to how time actually works. The Three Body Problem, the TV show, I actually really enjoyed, even though I like the book better. Still, it's a great visualization of the book. Sense8, love that. Taken by Steven Spielberg, the miniseries. Steven Spielberg is in the know, it seems, so I always try to watch his stuff about anything to do with UFOs. And then Manifest. It's kind of like it's not that great of a show, but it's interesting how it shows like an awakening and then having really odd experiences with a collective of people. It's fun. I like that one. Communities for support, Reddit communities. There's the Gateway Tapes, Our Experiencers, which is, I think, Oak and Mantis and everyone in there. They're doing really great work supporting experiencers. Our Young, NDE, Spirituality, those are all good subs. The Experiencer Group, was started by Jay King. I'm a member. Can't recommend that place enough as a good base camp for finding others when you're really lost. The Bridge Collective with Robin Lasseter, and then Essence of Being with Darren King. So coming up, the refusal of the call. In the next chapter, we're going to delve into the refusal of the call, where here we encounter the moment where despite the presented opportunity for transformation, be it in our views, circumstances, relationships, or understanding of reality, we say, fuck that. For many, including myself, the primary obstacle to answering this call is fear. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or the deep-seated dread of disappointment. This refusal might provide temporary comfort, but life's unfolding events will not be deterred by our reluctance. They will continue to push us towards growth, even through circumstances beyond our control. And believe me, no matter how much you resist, that wheel keeps turning and you're going to have to face that. At least you're going to have to face it no matter what. And every time it comes around, if you continue to ignore it, it's going to get louder and louder. This chapter will explore how to recognize these fears, understand why we might refuse the call, and strategies to embrace the change willingly. Rather than letting external events dictate our path, we'll learn how to make the decision to evolve on our own terms, transforming resistance into readiness for the journey ahead. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this really helps. Please stay tuned for the next chapter. I'm going to start interspersing them with some other short podcasts as well. This takes a while for me to develop, but I'm in no rush because my hope is that it's if I take my time, it'll be done right, and that it will help people as they're progressing along their own journey. So thank you very much. Have a great week, and thank you.